Welcome back, and this is part 4 of our workshop video series for the post-processing of your newborn photograph. So again, this is Doc Ian of Newborn Academy for Photographer Philippines. We are a local Philippine-based workshop that aims to teach future newborn photographers safe and effective way of practicing newborn photography. This video series is being given free to the public so that you may have a glimpse of what we learn in the workshop. All right. So in this video, I will teach you how to edit those nasty blemishes if in case you have subjects or babies that come into your studio and you have these pimples and these blotches in their skin, which is a normal part of most newborns. All right. I'll teach you a way on how to remove this in Photoshop to make the skin cleaner. And an integral part of this work process will be dealing with frequency separation, and I will discuss that as we go along the way. All right, so let's start. So we have here a very nice photograph of this young baby boy. Very cute. I love the hair. We do have these blemishes that we have to remove. So before exporting it again, this is my usual workflow. Again, this is a part of a lecture series. This is part 4, so you can access the part 1, 2, and 3 on our channel. Please like and subscribe. Follow us to help the channel grow. So I'm just pulling out some of the blacks and some of the shadows to give more detail. So I'm good with this, so let's open this. Okay. So in my part 1 or part 2, if I'm not mistaken, of the video series, I've taught you the tools that I use to edit skin and edit my pictures. So for this one, we have several options. We can start with the spot healing brush tool and simply adjusting your brush size and dabbing on those pimples, on those lesions on the skin. And for most part, this is all you need. This is all you need, everything that you need, all right, to remove those blotches and those imperfections. And as you can see, all right, let's go to the history panel. This is the start, and this is the finish. Pretty good, right? The same we can do here. Sometimes if the blotches are too far or too near from each other, the spot healing brush tool kind of gets a difficult time doing it. So another way to do this more effectively is to use your patch tool. So you can control where Photoshop samples. So you select this part and then drag it where you want it to sample. Then Command D to remove. And sometimes this is a better tool to do this. Not all the times, because the spot healing brush tool is faster. Here you have to select, deselect. All right. So best tool is dependent. It's relevant depending on what you want to achieve and accomplish. And so let's see here, and let's drag there. All right. So this has come a long way from the original image, as you can see. So this is the original one, and this is the, all right, you see that? Very pretty good, right? So I want to go back in, zoom. When I'm editing, I zoom in, zoom out to see how my changes work. Because sometimes it looks good when you're zoomed in, it doesn't when you're zoomed out. So you go zoom in and zoom out. All right, so you still have some blotchiness of the skin over here, but at least for most part, the bigger, more obvious imperfections have now been removed. Okay, and here I introduce to you the frequency separation. So there's an action set that I give my students, but this frequency separation tool is common for most portrait photographers out there. So let's start. So here's the frequency separation. This action set is the one I got from Phlearn. So you can download it from their website in YouTube. PHLearn, Phlearn, very good resource site for learning post-processing for almost all genres. Okay, that is where I got most of my foundation, a lot of my foundation in editing. And this is where I got the action set. So frequency separation, guys, this is what happens in frequency separation. You divide, you have 2 layers, your HF, your high frequency, and your low frequency. In layman's term, how I explain it and how I see it, this is how I see it, all right? Might not be accurate, but this is how I see it. Your low frequency deals with your colors. Okay, it deals with the colors of the skin, while your high frequency deals with texture. Okay, it deals with the texture of the image. So, for example, the way we use it, right? The way we use it is for the low frequency. You can get a brush. Okay, usually I set it at normal and just 10%. Okay, and then I sample. For example, here, Alt and then click. So I get this color. So that's the color of the skin around here. And if I brush it onto here, as you can see, okay, I'm affecting the color, but I am not really affecting the texture. So see there, the texture remains intact. Okay, so this part here, the texture is not affected. If I do want to affect the texture, for example, I want to smoothen this out, how do I do it? I go to the high frequency layer. Okay, I use a stamp tool and I set it somewhere at around 20%. Okay, and see what happens. I sample here and then I brush. Okay, sample and brush. And as you can see, by doing so I can increase it to maybe 50%. So sample and brush. By doing so, I am smoothing the texture. So I am removing the texture. You can see that. All right. So why is this tool very powerful? Because, see, so the difference before and after. Because, see that, all right? Because you are able to separate the layer and only affect what you want to be affected. If you only want to affect the color, go to the low frequency layer. If you only want to affect the texture, go to the high frequency layer. What am I talking about? So let's start from the start, okay? So let's save this first so that we can go back. Screenshot. So when I screenshot this, we can go back here. So this snapshot. Let's put in, for example, no, I don't want snapshot over here. Sorry. Let me delete that. Okay. Let's remove the frequency separation first. Yep, and put the snapshot over here. All right. So this is the one that we're going to go back. So this is post major correction. So major correction of the blotches. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. So this is the first part. Actually, I can use frequency separation to edit this. Okay. Okay. So again, you're not limited to brush here in frequency separation. You can actually also use the stamp tool. So here you have a blemish, this pimple right here. Let's focus on the pimple right here. All right. This pimple is composed of the redness, which makes it irregular, and the bump which makes the texture of the pimple. So if I want to correct the skin color, I can use this one, and as you can see, I have corrected the redness. There, see? So it comes and go. And then if I want the texture to go away, the pimple bump, I go to the high frequency and then sample there. And there you go. The pimple is gone. Can you see that? All right. And I can also, all right, it's not limited to brush or stamp tool. I can even use the spot healing brush in this layer. So spot healing brush that, and go to the high frequency and spot healing brush that. It goes away. I want to remove the redness, and then I want to remove the texture. Do you see that? Do you see how powerful this tool is? All right. That's one way of using it. All right. So, but let's go back. How do I use it? How do I use it for my newborn post-processing? So after removing those blotches using the spot healing brush tool and the patch tool, I have made this frequency separation EN layer to make things very easy for you if you couldn't grasp yet the context between high frequency and low frequency. Okay, just use my action, and here you just paint white. Okay, paint white and 100%. No need to worry, it's not going to be too strong because this is already 50% down. So brush here, and you brush on the area with blemishes, uneven skin tone, the ones that you want to make smooth, and it will make it a bit smoother. Just don't go overboard, it's going to be too smooth. So How does that look like before and after? This how it will look like. See that? Give you that smooth baby skin. All right, see that? You see that? All right. Okay, what does it look if it's 100%? Sometimes it looks too plastic, so we don't want that. That's too plastic. That's why I've toned this down to 50% or less. Okay, if you feel that there are more blotches and areas that you want to go back, so you can flatten by Command Shift E. Okay, and then you can do it one more time. Okay, it doesn't matter, just don't make it look fake. That's the moral of the story. So brush again, 100% white foreground, and only brush this time the part that are still blotchy. Okay, the part that are still again, avoid hitting those details. So you can see here what happened here. The blur, the eyes went blurred. So if you want to remove that, just simply press X so that your foreground becomes black, and then delete it. There you go. Put back the detail. So sometimes what I do is I simply paint white on the whole face. So this is the lazy way of doing it. Okay, oops, sorry. Brush, so brush, circle, brush, 100%. Okay, so I paint on the whole face. Okay, and then I go to 100% black and paint out the details, the things that you don't want being affected, the things where you want the details are. You can put it back, you can paint it back there. Mouth, the lips, the edges of the face, of course you don't want that blurred. So the hair, there you go. All right, and there you have it, a clean newborn face. So let's see the before and after. This is before, this is after, before, after, before, and after. Thank you for watching. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Please like, subscribe, and follow our channel.